Hello guys, DJParson here, and I'm back with another video of the World Championship. We are still in the stage number 4 and we are getting to the end of it. Some of these games, well, I don't think they're the last one in this case, so there's still one game left in the group stage, but we're gonna see that after we see the result of this exciting game. We have once again Weida. We saw him recently against Silent, I believe, and he's up against SuperDon, who we also know he's really active in TTA Pulse. So two really good players, and we will see how they will battle it out. Let's take a look at the leaders and wonders. We can see Acropolis, Roman Roads, Hammurabi, Gutenberg, Shakespeare and Darwin. So Gutenberg definitely a potential. Forbidden City, Great Wall, couple of MAs. We have Barbarossa, but not the best wonders for him. Yes, Great Wall is fine. James Cook, but no Suez. We have the Ocean Liner. We have Pierre and Malena. Hollywood as well. Mandela. Alright. So Weida with his first turn took the Engineering Genius. Pretty standard stuff, nothing to argue here. That is definitely the correct move. And then for SuperDon, he goes for Caesar and this Urban Growth. He could have also grabbed the other Urban Growth, but this leaves the option for him to take the Colossus. And then he could combo Caesar with Colossus if he wants that. So Weida will build a mine. He will What? You will grab Acropolis for 3 civil actions. I don't think... I mean, maybe I've seen it before, but not often that I see an HA1 like grabbed for 3 civil actions here. I mean, he could have gotten the Colossus and had 2 extra civil actions, but no, he decides, I want that Acropolis. So good move by SuperDon. If SuperDon had grabbed the other Urban Growth, the Colossus would now be gone, and you wouldn't have that option to go for that. So a good move by him, I would say. And then we can see Weida has to end his turn. Gets 2 cards, and then SuperDon will go for Caesar. He will build that mine, build the lab, increase pop. Will he even go for Colossus? Maybe he decides against it. Okay, I was praising how good he... At least it was good to have the option, right? But he decides, nope, I don't want that Colossus after all. Weida will get his leader finally, goes for Confucius, increases pop, builds an extra lab as well. Alright, and then next turn he can start getting some extra science. SuperDon can push twice, will he do it? He will open the development of religion, which he can take and Weida can not, so good. Good for SuperDon, definitely. He doesn't push again, so maybe he doesn't have anything, or he decides he doesn't want to. And he grabs Iron and Richland on one, another one in hand already. I like the start quite a lot. Having this super early Iron, having skipped the extra mine. So next turn just build the 3rd one as an Iron, upgrade another one. A lot of good things to come for SuperDon here. So Weida will push, of course, with Confucius, gets the development of agriculture of 2 extra food, increases pop. Really finished the Acropolis? Yes, he does. He skips the first government form, the theocracy. There's kind of a shift at the moment. People start to like theocracy more and more, especially with the Acropolis having the option to get this reduced is quite often taken, but he decides against it. He'd rather increase pop then go for that theocracy. And then it will once again be SuperDon's turn, who can push, who could push again if he wants to. Nope, only once again. Builds a mine right for that. And then theocracy will be grabbed by SuperDon. I mean, interesting. I mean, these yellow cards maybe aren't the best. Not really what he needs. He has a lot of rocks now from the Iron. So for him, the Urban Growths here. And yeah, the Frugalities also. I mean, it's possible. He could have gone for Frugality. But he decides, nope, I want the theocracy. There is potential for a revolution. Like next time he could do the revolution. Has a lot of free population. Go for some warriors if he has corruption. Which he actually doesn't have at the moment. So yeah, maybe we're gonna see a theocracy revolution from him. And then development of warfare, so both of them will get a free warrior. Weida has to build them the religion, yeah. That is costly that he didn't have the free pop for the development of religion. And some part of that comes down to the Acropolis being grabbed for 3. That cost you a lot of civil action, which you would have used for popping earlier, for example. So now he will rebuild that. Of course, with the Acropolis, having the extra buildings makes the governments cheaper. And he wants the happy face. Maybe he's afraid of a rebellion. SuperDon has the happy face, has grabbed theocracy, so SuperDon having played 2 cards, one of them would be rebellion or immigration. Both of them would be pretty bad if Weida is caught without the religion, so he decides to build that one. Will grab knights and gets a breakthrough, as well as frugality. Okay. Has 8, 9, 10 science. Yeah. He is stronger now before the turn of SuperDon, who will still push and gets punished a little bit with that call to arms. That means whatever he planned before, there's not going to be a revolution now. Can push again. He actually pushed a card that he just drew. So I mean, we don't know if maybe that was a super good card for him to grab with the call to arms. And now he pushed again. Gets cultural influence 1 to 2. Doesn't do that much when it comes this early. But of course, SuperDon also takes the free warrior, will reveal his tactic, a fighting band. So he will be stronger for the next turn. Grabs irrigation, and then I would assume upgrade ones. No, he wants the swordsman as well. Quite a lot of techs here. I don't know if you need the swordsman. I generally don't think you really do need them, but I guess he takes that. He still has no corruption. I probably would have preferred upgrading 1 more bronze to that iron. Because he doesn't have the most science production. His hand is relatively full, he has no extra civil actions, and a lot of these are technologies. And as I said, he doesn't have that much science. It's still okay, not like his hand is super clunky, he has enough to research irrigation, all sorts, but we will see. Strategic territory, SuperDon will win this one. Let's see if he has to pay a high cost, but he just drew 2 extra cards. He has drawn quite a lot of extra cards with Caesar. So indeed, he did get 2 colonization cards, so this is really great. Strategic territory, not the best one to get for just 1 warrior, but it's a pretty good deal. So I like that. Weida will go for Saladin, elects him immediately, will go for knights. Build one, does he have a tactic? Yes, the medieval army. So 7 strength from him. And that makes him stronger, of course. SuperDon also needs a new leader pretty soon. He will skip politics here completely. Of course, we don't know if this card was played by him or by Weida, but even if it is played by Weida, he just got stronger. The thing is, can SuperDon become stronger himself now? And we will see what he will do with his science. He will first of all upgrade 1 iron, go for Nostradamus. As I said, he needs a new leader. He skips out on Nostradamus this turn. He can't really go for Gutenberg. And Barbarossa, yeah, Barbarossa would work. That would have been the alternative probably. Wait 1 turn for Barbarossa. Maybe get this turn, get the irrigation going. Could even go for Theocracy Revolution and then Barbarossa, using the extra happy face and Amaze to build extra swordsman. If all of that would have worked out somehow, but he decides nope. I want Nostradamus, and then he gets a breakthrough here as well. Of course, there's also the danger with him taking the breakthrough that the age would have ended before he could have replaced Caesar if he had gone for Barbarossa. Weida will push, and both of them get 1 extra science. Then Weida will increase pop. He's missing 1 food here. No, he can. I was wrong. Yeah, with that frugality, it works out perfectly for him. He gets all of that food together for popping 2 times. He has a little bit of an happy face issue. We will see how he plans to solve that. Not yet, it seems. He goes for Code of Laws. Does he go for bread? Nope. Goes for masonry. I guess it's still fine because, yeah, he loses 2 yellow cubes. Both of the workers will be unhappy, but yeah, they will be unhappy, but they will be there to cover that. And then later he can go for Forbidden City or next turn if he wants to. And interestingly here, all the wonders have been pretty late. pretty late. And he grabs Masonry, so maybe he does plan to go for Forbidden City, maybe for Great Wall or something to get happy faces. But apparently not the Bread and Circus. Doesn't want that one. Also, he doesn't take the strength from Saladin to not be weaker, but SuperDon can't push here, or doesn't want to push. With Nostradamus, that is extra expensive, costing him 4 culture not to push. But yeah, maybe nothing good on top, maybe nothing good to push, who knows. But yeah, SuperDon will then deny that Forbidden City. Probably thinks, yeah, that would have maybe been the good plan for Weida. With the Masonry, with him having happy face issues, he probably would have liked the Forbidden City. SuperDon struggles with civil actions, so for him wonders are really good because he has so many rocks and not that much extra population. And then the Forbidden City is also good for him because of civil actions, and the happy faces ignored is also, yeah, needed in a turn. So yeah, I like that move. I like it more than going for Machu Picchu. He doesn't have the civil actions to spend all of the stuff that that he would gain from the Machu. Of course, he has irrigation, he has iron. It is a good instinct to see Machu Picchu on one. It's your first wonder, just grab it and be rich. But taking the Forbidden City away from Weida is probably one extra motive to go for that one. And as I said, not having the civil actions to then spend the extra rocks for Machu Picchu, and then only having the extra rocks for corruption is not what you want to have. So H2 will start. We have quite different positions. We have one guy, SuperDon, having a lot of rock production, and then Weida, who doesn't have a lot of rock production, but who has a lot of civil actions. So how will that turn out for both of them? Let's see if Weida takes a wonder, and he does. He does grab the Silk Road. Of course, that also has great potential with the Masonry, which he could go for. He also grabs Printing Presses. Yeah, Printing Presses. We could see a Culture Fest with Shakespeare if he gets some extra happy faces, but even there, Shakespeare is not bad in giving that one extra happy face. He will now go for the Masonry, and then start building on the Silk Road, building 4 stages. And of course, with having this many civil actions, I mean, one of them is from Saladin, but still, Silk Road is good, because with the civil actions you get yellow cards, and Silk Road makes those yellow cards better. So yeah, pretty good wonder for him. I could have also seen him go for Great Wall, but maybe that's a little bit too expensive to not give any resources back. The hope is maybe that Silk Road will give back some extra rocks with the bonus from the yellow cards, and Great Wall doesn't give you any extra rocks, so making up for his bad production a little bit maybe. SuperDon will go and open the Scientific Breakthrough, 2 science for both, and he can just finish the wonder. Yes, he does. And then that's it. That's all of the things he can do. What else did he do? I missed it. Irrigation. Irrigation is developed. All right. So Weida opens 1 extra science for both. Again, extra science. There is now a strategy on the board. I mean, if his happy faces would be looking better, Weida could maybe go for Darwin and then grab the strategy for cheap. But like this, I'm not sure. Are we gonna see it? Okay, we're still gonna see it. Yeah, I mean, it is the strategy. It is worth so much, especially for Weida, who has a lot of civil actions but not a lot of MAs at the moment. So grabbing that strategy here. And then the iron as well as the irrigation. Okay, has a full hand of technologies, but a lot of them are pretty good. Having the option for Shakespeare with drama and printing press. Having a strategy is great if the military game kicks off a little bit. One thing he still needs is happy faces. That is not solved at all for him. SuperDon will push here. Those are some unspectacular rats. 1 food lost total from Weida. From SuperDon, who then can now probably increase food. But first he will go and grab himself the journalism for 3. That is expensive. I mean, Weida's hand is pretty full. I don't know if he would have grabbed that one for 2. Or does SuperDon go for this turn? I mean, we will find out. No, he won't. I mean, that would have been an option. Develop journalism here, build one. But he feels that he needs the cavalrymen. And then maybe also cannons, or will he skip them? He skips those. Okay. So upgrades 1 food, grabs the journalism for 3. Yeah, I'm trying to understand why he wants the journalism for 3. Is it that important here? I mean, yeah, it gives him the option for Shakespeare as well. It is good with Newton. But do you have to force it here for 3 civil actions? It is good for SuperDon, no doubt. He has a lot of rocks, no science, and not that much population. So expensive journalisms are a great thing for him to build. Like if he goes for next turn, it is going to be very good. The question is, would have Weida denied it? Or doesn't Weida have other priorities at the moment? But this is what SuperDon decides to do. He wants that journalism. And he shall have it. Weida will go for iron. Pretty late, but always useful. And then can really ignore these both of these happy techs. He will research one, but it's only the drama. It doesn't help that much with happy faces at the moment. He will grab Revolutionary Idea and then for his last move also the Frugality. He likes grabbing cards here. He's grabbing a lot of cards, not doing that much with those cards yet. I mean, I like the Revolutionary Idea. You need a lot of extra science. Frugality, yeah, food game is not strong from Weida, especially because he delays his irrigation more and more. This turn as well, he didn't develop the irrigation, he developed the drama and then didn't build it. And then even if he gets out 2 irrigations, soon the next age will start, 2 yellow cubes will be gone. He's only going to be producing 1 extra food with 2 irrigation. It's going to take some time, so maybe the Frugality is a solution to give you 1 extra population at some point, but it's still going to be quite delayed until you can use that Frugality. SuperDon pushes again and gets the immigration. Okay, that is very interesting. Both of them get 1 extra population for just the 1 happy face. So that is good news for both of them. And then SuperDon goes for Napoleon. Okay. And this makes... it still makes this game very, very interesting. But then he also goes for journalism. So if he would now go all for military, okay, but now he also wants to balance it out a little bit. He wants the journalism this turn. Does he also develop cavalry? No, he goes for wave. Once again, I don't know if Napoleon was really needed here. Weida probably won't go for Napoleon. I mean, he could maybe, and then it would be dangerous. So maybe it's just the defense move from SuperDon. But now if he goes for Napoleon and doesn't do much with him, Weida gets Shakespeare and will outproduce his journalisms. So once again, he could have maybe waited 1 turn with going for Napoleon, go for journalism this turn. He could have still grabbed the wave, maybe cannons as well. This like he does it this way, he will skip on those cannons because this is the second copy. I mean, he still has a lot of rock production, and with the wave, I mean, he also has happy face. Yeah, happy face is a little bit. What I was about to say is population. He doesn't have that much, so I don't see him going for cavalrymen and a lot of journalisms. So with Napoleon here, it's kind of, yeah, a little bit of strength, a little bit of journalisms, but you don't have the population for both. So I'm going to be interested to see what his plan is with this Napoleon grab. Is this just to defend his journalisms? Is to get the journalisms for science and a little bit of culture and then push for military with the wave, maybe even with theocracy still, and punish Weida if he wants to go for Shakespeare? A lot of open questions and nothing to do besides continuing the game to find out. Weida will upgrade 1 of his irons, not the next one, will build his first drama. Grabs a rich land, develops the irrigation finally, and engineering genius. So yeah, now he develops the irrigation, but until he can upgrade that, now especially with losing yet another, or not losing, gaining one more population, so having even worse yellow bank, the irrigations are not going to be doing much. I don't know if he could have gone for select breeding here. That is another card that he would have grabbed for 2. I think I like the drama. That is... yeah, I mean, we don't know if he has seen the rebellion or not, so getting 1 extra happy face makes it a little bit less dangerous to run into that rebellion if SuperDon has played it. And getting some culture production up, he's probably set his mind on Shakespeare at this point. Still needs extra happy faces, but at least with Shakespeare gets the 1. Maybe can build another drama and then gets 1 journalism. So he's not going to have an insane Shakespeare. For an insane Shakespeare, you don't need a lot of rocks. You mainly need population. And Weida at the moment doesn't have that. And irrigations won't be enough to give it to him. So it's not going to be an insane Shakespeare, but even normal Shakespeares are insane on their own, maybe. So SuperDon doesn't push, even though he would be stronger. He will build an extra journalism, so I'm not going for full military yet. Will upgrade food, breakthrough, and what else? Does go for that theocracy. Both Republic and Conmon were pretty late, or are still not showing, so they are late. So SuperDon decides he wants the option to build a 3rd journalism. He wants happy faces. I mean, he doesn't need them as much, but yeah, it's good to have it. Maybe the strength being stronger this turn and 1 extra MA. And he has quite a lot of science production now, so it doesn't hurt that much to spend 6 science on the late theocracy. Especially because the super late Conmon and Republic also aren't that great. And then maybe he can, or he has the science to replace the theocracy with one of the H3 governments later. So I still, yeah, I think I like that, the late theocracy here. And then he grabs reserves. Yeah, reserves maybe for food, getting extra population, but he will get 1 more population next turn. Maybe the plan is just go for that journalism, and there he would need that theocracy. Pestilence is a problem for both of these a little bit, but more so for Weida, because he's struggling with population quite a lot. What did he do? Upgrade 1. Yeah, upgrade 1 mine with the rich land. Grabs Republic here, will develop that. We'll grab Riflemen, so I'm not going for Shakespeare this turn. We'll develop the printing press before having Shakespeare, so he's maybe going to run out of time for Shakespeare. Maybe he still has the time, we don't know yet. But he wants to make sure, wants to develop the printing press at this turn and not lose it, and then not really have the option for Shakespeare. So that's probably just safety. But yeah, look at his food. He lost the population that he gained, so he's back with having some problems. Shakespeare gets 1 happy face. End of the age will cost 1 happy face, so then he doesn't have enough population to go for the printing press. And frugality, not doing anything here, because he doesn't have enough food to prop once. Doesn't bring anything, the frugality, if you can't get back that food. SuperDon will push finally, and here we get a pretty cheap territory. I mean, yeah, Weida has no MAs, so he probably has no colonization cards, so SuperDon gets this one for probably just the warrior. Yeah, just the warrior. Which is great for him, getting, yeah, solving more of his happy face issues, solving, or giving him an easy transition here. He loses strength, so he can use the wave to rebuild. She does here as well, I think. Increases pop builds, yeah, builds the cavalryman, upgrades the warrior, spend all of those rocks. Have 12 strength now, so now he is. Yeah, I think at this point I like SuperDon's position a little bit more. We won't see a crazy Shakespeare from Weida. He does have, yeah, the potential to get it culturally, but at the moment it's 93 to 96 plus 6, so SuperDon even has the lead, and they have the same culture production. And Weida won't get the insane jump with Shakespeare, because he has not the population for it. So, yeah. I mean, Weida still has a lot of civil actions. He has the solution for his MAs in the strategy. So I don't want to count him out or anything, but SuperDon has good science and culture protection from his journalism, and now can also threaten a little bit in strength. Something that Weida will struggle with because he has no population to also put into military and then those printing presses plus Shakespeare. So Weida gets Shakespeare here, will elect him, will for a moment solve his happy face issues. He will upgrade one rifleman, upgrade another one. We'll build that printing press, so 9 culture production from him now, but yeah. So, science is a little bit of an issue with the strategy still looming to be paid. 8 science, so 2 turns of production. No extra science in hand, but he can get the breakthrough, so that's good at least. Reserves, upgrade 1 food, upgrade another, and then breakthrough probably. No breakthrough, interesting. I would have thought the science is what he needs the most here. But no, he decides against the breakthrough and actually skips. So he likes urban growth more than the breakthrough here, which I don't know if I agree with that. First of all, he can't use the urban growth for drama or printing press, so that is an investment into the late future if he at some point will go for multimedias or movies. Only then can he really use the urban growth. And the breakthrough, with especially if he uses that with the Silk Road, is 4 extra science. Yeah, I would take that in his position more than the urban growth. But he decides against it, and we will see. SuperDon will start this game into H3. And we can see a war right off. Good start into H3 for SuperDon here. We see also the rockets. First card from H3 are those rockets. Are we going to see them grabbed? Maybe not. Maybe SuperDon doesn't need them. Okay, he will show his tactic. It is only the Conquistadors, but it is a tactic. Then he can increase pop, destroy 1 lad, go for a cavalryman and a swordsman. So 22 strength from him. He grabs the breakthrough here. So this turn is just put pressure on Weida, who just went for culture protection with Shakespeare. And as we've said, happy face issues. Now a war on top of that. No science to go for the strategy to defend. It's not looking too good. It's a little bit interesting that SuperDon does go for the justice system. I mean, yeah, he has the science, he wants extra civil actions, but he might be able to steal the Code of Laws from Weida. On the other hand, he can just steal 8 science next turn from Weida, which is probably even better. So yeah, maybe it's the correct move. But yeah, overall, a great turn for SuperDon to put on the pressure. Instead of the War of Attack, the War of Territory would have been probably even more devastating to Weida. Because that would have given him even more problems with the happy faces. But probably SuperDon hasn't drawn that one, or he might have gone for it. Or maybe he goes for it next turn, who knows. But how can Weida respond to this? Does he have a tactic? He can increase pop. Has a tactic to defend. Okay, he has drawn the classic army. Still happy face issues, so he has to destroy something. Yeah, destroys that philosophy. Not the biggest loss for him, so he's, yeah, I think he's handling this war quite well. He also gets a revolutionary idea, so that will make up for the science he loses in this war, which won't even be too much, and it will most importantly give him the option for the strategy next turn. And then yeah, those philosophies aren't too important. He can probably rather build drama from that, and he does that. 11 culture reduction. So well defended by Weida. He got a little bit lucky. He hasn't drawn that many cards in H2, but he got a tactic that he could use the classic army. On the other hand, he had to show that now, and SuperDon will be happy to copy that in 2 turns, and then maybe do even more devastating wars. But overall, could have been way worse for Weida. And now SuperDon will not even steal science, he just steals the masonry. And then he will push and get the historic territory, which he will win. Yeah, that is interesting. I really want to know what Weida was willing to send for this one. He needs happy faces so much. He went up for 6. So we see a SuperDon getting it for just a swordsman. And Weida, I mean, he has only one card, so he probably has no colonization card in hand and would have sent away 2 riflemen for this. This would have solved his happy face, given him some extra free population. Also interestingly, or maybe not interestingly, but nicely done by Weida. That frugality that he had grabbed quite early on did indeed now mean 1 extra population for him. I think he used that probably with the silk road, so 4 food from the frugality means he gets 1 extra pop now. But let's see first what SuperDon does here. Grabs the democracy, and grabs the ocean liner. Ocean liner, not Suez, I was wondering, yeah. But it is the ocean liner. I was seeing colonies, a boat next to it, that has to be the Suez. But no, it's the ocean liner. Can finish it next turn, and can use the masonry that he just stole for getting some, or saving some of those civil actions. And overall, yeah, he has a lot of rocks. Wonders are great. He has not the best food production. I mean, it's okay, but not great. So it's probably not too late to go for the ocean liner. And then he also gets the rockets. Yeah, not bad. Rockets with Napoleon, with already having cavalrymen. Quite a lot of tactics could switch into. But Weida will get the military theory, so that is quite important. To take that away from SuperDon means a lot less potential from him for any wars. And Weida, of course, can go for that one instead of the strategy if he wants to. Let's see, increases pop, will build a printing press, has to destroy a lab, maybe even builds another drama. Now he grabs urban growth and efficient upgrades, still with the urban growths, efficient upgrades. I mean, if he gets multimedias, he can upgrade them for sure. He will have the rocks for that. But he already has quite a lot of rocks, so I don't know if these efficient upgrades, urban growths, are really what he needs. On the other hand, I really won't complain. But you can never have too many free rocks. These efficient upgrades for multimedias are really, really good. And he did use his urban growth at some point, that I was saying I would have rather had seen the revolutionary idea, the breakthrough. And I think here we saw it. He builds an H1 theater for 0. It costs 2 less because of William Shakespeare. So he didn't even use the full rocks from the urban growth, just used it for something. Maybe on that turn I didn't see the deck or the card row and he didn't want to move it that much, but I think breakthrough would have still been quite a lot better there. SuperDon will finish the ocean line on his turn with just 2 selections thanks to the masonry. He then can get extra population, build 1 more journalism, grab the multimedia. I would assume to take it away from Weida, who has 2 efficient upgrades in hand, who has the reduced cost on the multimedia research. And I don't expect SuperDon to develop the multimedia, spend those selections upgrading each journalism. The boost isn't that good. And he has enough population to build new things instead of upgrading them. So he's probably looking for movies or something. But yeah, good turn. Next turn he could go for democracy and then even build another journalism. So in the end we might see a culture fest here. Let's also see. He doesn't want to copy. I was thinking he could theoretically copy the classic army because he had 1 spare MA this turn. On the other hand, that would have made him weaker because he needs the conquistadors at the moment. So I guess it's just the better tactic for him right now. So he keeps that. Then Weida will also skip politics. We have not seen that many events played, not a single impact yet. And culture is at 73 to 75, so super close. But Weida has quite a lot of production. Will he grab it? Yeah, he will grab that Hollywood. I imagine that will be quite big. And of course, would have also been good for SuperDon, especially if he also gets movies. So yeah, good move by Weida to take that one. We could still see military, especially from SuperDon, in second position. Depending on the tactics, going for 2 rockets, going for the new tactic or something like that. Could even go for fundamentalism. No, he can't. Weida will take that one away, making it still a little bit harder on SuperDon. I mean, he could declare war and go for one air force if that is enough. I don't know. Especially if Weida can go for fundamentalism. And then he could even do a little trick, build one more urban building, and then he also gets the military theory. So I guess it would be hard to go for war versus Weida, at least this turn. Maybe if he takes some time. But yeah, that will be the turn from Weida. Just set up for the Hollywood, still produce a lot of culture from Shakespeare. Have a lot of rocks. I mean, he has corruption, but still gonna have a lot of rocks after this. And then he's probably waiting for the second multimedia, upgrade those printing presses with efficient upgrades, and then get quite the big Hollywood. And hope that will be enough. SuperDon will open the National Pride, which means 5 extra culture for Weida. That probably was quite contested. Depending on who would have opened that, it might have been quite important. But it will be opened during SuperDon's turn and benefactor Weida. Let's see, he will build a swordsman, he will go for democracy, and Marlene, electing Marlene as well. That I don't fully understand. Why? What does Marlene do here? She doesn't give strength. I mean, what does Napoleon do? He makes him stronger, so he must be very sure that these are not strength events. Or we should see the turn till the finish, but this is the finish. So I don't really understand why he switches out Napoleon for Marlene here. Not hand size issue. Napoleon would have meant one more military action. If you wanted to declare war, that military action could be quite important. And as I said, Marlene is actually at the moment not doing a single thing. Am I missing something? So he grabbed Marlene, replaced Napoleon. I mean, maybe there's iconoclasm, but he has enough civil actions to then just go for Marlene a little bit later. And not signaling it to Weida. I don't know, maybe I'm missing something, but I don't see a reason to go for Marlene here. I mean, okay, there is the iconoclasm, but still. I mean, maybe that was the reason. Still only a third of a chance for that to happen. But yeah, maybe SuperDon played that iconoclasm and was afraid to lose the one civil action and wanted it now. Maybe. Weida can get a new leader immediately in Churchill. Will destroy a rifleman. Fundamentalism to stabilize strength a little bit. Copy the tactic to actually get stronger. Reserves and satellites. Okay, there's a lot of things here. I mean, yeah, it really sucks for him that he lost Shakespeare, so he does go for the fundamentalism, get a little bit of strength, freeing one of the riflemen for him, and then builds another drama. He can even build one more thanks to the Acropolis. I think his Hollywood will still be fine. There's movies here, so next turn he could go for movies and upgrade them with the efficient upgrades, making him even better Hollywood. And yeah, we're running out of time for wonders, and we're running out of time for wars. I kind of think SuperDon would need a war, but he can't really see how he gets one. I mean, it is still pretty close. If SuperDon manages to get the Empire State, then could be enough. Next turn he can also increase his strength by his culture production by quite a lot with the movies. Nah, but we will see. I don't know if it can be enough. I mean, he could. I don't know what he could. Develop territory. He can win that one for another swordsman. So colony game is going strong for SuperDon. He got all of those colonies quite cheap. And he gets movies. We'll build one. He still has the engineering genius, so his plan is probably to go for the Empire State with the engineering genius. Gets engineering here, reserves, probably urban growth. So next turn he can build another movies and then finish the Empire State building. One problem could be Weida just finishing Hollywood and then denying the Empire State. That could be a possibility from him. Especially if SuperDon takes too many cards and Weida would get the Empire State on 2, which I think you would need, right? Yeah. Doesn't have that many civil actions, so he can't grab it from the last spot. But SuperDon taking quite a lot of cards. Does he take another one? No, doesn't take the military build-up. So that's his move. So yeah, next turn he can develop engineering with the urban growth, probably build another movies. He is at 15 culture. His Empire State is pretty good. He has the most culture, he has the most science. And that's actually it. So he can easily get the best rock and food as well if he wants to. And strength, maybe if he uses Marlene a little bit or something. We'll see, but it's not like an insane Empire State yet. But he has a lot of wriggling room next turn probably. But also Weida might contest, or probably will contest, that culture spot with his maybe another drama or upgrading printing presses, or the dramas with a sufficient upgrade. But he will lose one of those. He will lose one efficient upgrade, as H4 will start here. He loses quite a lot of cards. And then Weida will push, get the inhabited, and he will win it for a knight. So that frees up some population, helps with happy faces. And he will go for military theory. I mean, we're playing now around some impacts. Both of them have 2, but SuperDon can play another. And we're playing around the Empire State. Weida can't deny it, because it didn't come out on the second row. So he finishes Hollywood. He can't also grab the Empire State. But he needs to contest that, so I guess going for the military theory makes it harder for SuperDon to win strength. If he had gone for multimedia, he could have denied culture, but we'll see. Let's see what he does. We'll copy a tactic, get a little bit more strength, build another drama and another printing press. Finish Hollywood for 26. Not that great. It's pretty good, but not insane. And then increase pop. Yeah, maybe he didn't have the civil actions to really go for multimedia, or he really wanted the military theory. I mean, yeah, there could be some impacts, but his impact of variety seems okay. His impact of progress is of course bettered by military theory as well, and government. So yeah, of course for impacts, military theory is quite good. But not using the efficient upgrade, he maybe could have gone for one movies or multimedia or something, make Hollywood a little bit bigger. Because like this, SuperDon can also just win culture quite easily. Build one extra movies and finish Empire State should be easily doable. So he will win that. And then maybe also have the space to win some other categories of the Empire State. If Weida had gone for multimedia, I mean, contesting science is probably not possible because of his fundamentalism. Or maybe just movies and build one movies, upgrade one with the efficient upgrade isn't that expensive, but maybe it is too expensive. I guess he did do most of the math, so we have to trust that this is the best he could do. SuperDon can't play another impact, sadly for him, but he can copy a tactic, making him go up to 18 strength, can grab the Empire State. Build one movies. What else are we gonna see? Not that much. 14 from Empire State building, yeah? So he will win the culture, but doesn't have enough to win any other category, even though he would have the population. Really sucks. If he had one more rock, he could build an extra farm or extra mine and get quite a lot more from the Empire State building. But like this, this will be it from him, I suppose. I mean, yeah, increase population 2 times. 20 culture production, but we're gonna go 146 to 163, so it is gonna be pretty close. But SuperDon will be behind like 20 culture, and there's 2 impacts to 2, so rather unlikely that he can catch him here. Empire State just wasn't big enough. So impact of strength, 10 to 0. That sucks. Industry 6 to 6. happiness 12 to 14, and then the last one will be technology 8 to 12, so it won't be enough. So congratulations Weida for beating SuperDon here in a very interesting match. And yeah, if SuperDon somehow would have been able to win strength, and it was so close, but not quite. I mean, like the way it turned out, of course, SuperDon couldn't know it. But it probably would have been better to not build the extra movies. I mean, in general, that could have been a move, right? Like, let's think about this. His movies gave him 1 category of the Empire State and 5 extra culture. Plus the happy face. Yeah, so math becomes a little bit harder. Maybe I can't do it off right here, but if it not built the movies, he could have built strength. And he would have won that with the Empire State. And of course, the Emperor strength, but he didn't know there was that. He could have then... He has enough population. He probably could have also built 1 extra agriculture and maybe a mine. So he would have probably gotten a bigger Empire State building. And then maybe it would have been enough. Especially, I mean, in retrospect, of course. With the Empire of Strength being in there, that would have probably turned the game around. I mean, we can't tell. We can't tell. Say we can't play this now. Play this last turn for him and see how it would have worked out. I mean, theoretically it is possible. If someone is motivated, he could do that and do all the math correctly, but I don't have the time for that. But yeah, let's take a look at the group 7, as we see here, from Weida and SuperDon, and take a look at the current standings after this match. And of the 80 players, or of the 8 groups, we see 1 is already finished. I'm not going to go through the results yet. That's going to be the last video that I make of the group stage number 4. I'm going to go through all the groups, one after the other, and see who will qualify for the last stages of the playoffs. But here in group 7, we have almost all games completed. 1 is missing, and at the moment we see Weida on top after beating SuperDon, who is on 2nd position, but has the same points as Vivi. And then there's also Siphon. The last game is between Siphon and Vivi. If Siphon is able to win that one, we have 3 players with 4 points. And then it's going to be a tie, and we're going to be looking at tiebreakers, which is going to be... yeah, interesting. But yeah, this means Weida is guaranteed to advance. If Vivi wins, both of them will be with 6 points, but no one will take away the spot from Weida. So congratulations to him, first of all. And yeah, for SuperDon, after we saw this loss of him, there is still a chance if Siphon indeed wins versus Vivi, then it's going to come down to tiebreakers, and maybe SuperDon can win those time, or has won those tiebreakers. So yeah, very exciting group here, group number 7. And yeah, as I said, we're gonna take a look at the end results at some point. But this will be all for this video. Thank you guys very much for watching, and see you next time.